Squeedle coming at you with a Tactics Talk Quick Hit. Thanks for tuning in. We're going to talk about a specific thing on this Quick Hit. We're going to talk about the hill on Himmelsdorf and what do you do if your team doesn't really go up there. So Nona sent me this in. He's got an AMX M449 Tier 8 in a, well, it's not a 357, is it? Look at this. This is very strange. It's a 3, whatever the rest of the math is. 9, I think. He's on Himmelsdorf. He has spawned into the North spawn, and he has decided to take his low-tier heavy with decent gun depression and good front armor and go fight up on the hill, which is not a bad idea. A 1390 is headed up that way. The IS-7 is sort of hanging out at cap right now, and a decent force is going down what the Russians call the Banana Road, what I think in NA we call more often Tank Alley, on the 8 line, and you've got the requisite mediums and some TDs hanging out on the other side. The AMX goes up to the top, but Nona is unhappy that no one is going up the hill. So, quick hit, what do you do? I would have kept going if I was Nona to get at least up to the ridge right there, because if they don't send anybody, then I'm happy to take the hill with my slow Tier 8 heavy. That is unlikely, so you were expecting to see enough tanks up there to push both he and the AMX off. At least the AMX went up and got the SA. Problem is, if your heavy isn't also kind of hanging out near the edge and giving them pause as far as pushing across, they're going to come across quite quickly. And what they have seen is more than likely the AMX running away. So what do you do? What you do is you've got to defend back here. You got two choices, obviously. You could run away, but if you don't defend and you get a bunch of guys in your backfield, then you're going to have trouble. So at this point now, you are on your back foot, more of a defensive position. Also, he notices the IS-7 is coming up, so that's going to be a great help. So Nona will hang out here. He's looking back. The Conqueror GC should have noticed what's going on. He should be gone, long gone by now. Nona attempts, somebody's clicking on there. Tank Bomber saying, hey, look, dopey artillery, you must move. The rest of the team is doing well. They're up 3-0. So at this point, there we go. So Nona's going to go with the IS-7. At this point, they've just got to hold this, and now here comes a relatively significant force. There's a mill. There's at least a 140 up there somewhere. Here comes somebody else. The IS-7 is pushing up into them. And depending on how this fight goes is probably going to determine the rest of the outcome of this game. They're in good shape. They'll just continue to fight this. So what do you do with the hill that your team does not invest in? You do something similar to what Nona did. You come up to it and you hold it. I've had multiple games like this recently. The west side seems to be becoming more and more popular. People don't like going up on the hill because it's swept by artillery fire, for one thing. There's a lot of hold down tanks now that are very difficult to fight that can look up and over these ridges. The other side, it's a little bit worse because the angle going up to the ridge is less. So from the other side, the hold down tanks are a little worse. And then the enemy team realizes they have to do something. So Nona's just going to go ahead, gets a little shot into a highly angled side of the 140, comes over here, looking for a shot, there we go, and takes down the 140. The mill is attempting to take on the IS-7. 44 is trying to shoot the IS-7 in the back, right into the turret. And there's plenty of help right here. They start taking them down. And obviously this game is well in hand. It's 9-1. The red team decided they had to push on the hill. That was the right decision for them at the time. And they end up getting absolutely waxed. And what these tanks avoided was a push into the backfield. Now it's a good thing the IS-7 came, because Nona and the AMX would have been pretty quickly overrun if the IS-7 wasn't there soaking up all the damage. But you've got to assess the game as it develops. And while it's nice to know that we need to take the hill or at least control the hill, if something that you think needs to happen doesn't, then you have to react to that. If you try to fill in that spot, then that's fine. Make sure you do it right. If you decide to blow that side off and go with the lemming train, then go ahead and do that, but at least make a decisive decision. That's it. Quick hit for the day. What to do on the Himmelsdorf Hill if your team does not invest in it. See you later.